Hey everybody, this is Jared here on MTG coming at you today with another Secret Lair unboxing. This one, the 20 Ways to Win Commander deck. And I'm gonna try to be more optimistic in this video because I know in the last video that was the Marvel Secret Lair, and that was a complete and utter disaster. But I actually really like it whenever Wizards prints these Commander decks. This one is a little bit strange because of its namesake, the 20 Ways to Win, and I'll get into that as we open this up, but let's just go ahead and open this up right now for you guys, just get straight to it. So, I hear you guys now. Why did I buy this? Basically, it was because I thought it was funny. Like, this deck is hilarious. Like, even though it's not that competitive, I just think that the novelty of it is very, very funny. Thank you for being a part of Secret Lair. Let's open up this box. They wrapped it like a little Christmas package. So, if I can get this paper off, there we go. The little deck box here has the little Tanuki stuff. 20 Ways to Win with the Planeswalker symbol, Secret Lair, Commander deck. I wonder if they did this with all the Commander decks. I don't remember. I did buy the Heads I Win, Tails You Lose deck and the Angels deck with Priscilla. So yeah, I really do like it whenever they make these Secret Lair Commander decks because I like the special artworks that they have and everything. And plus, some of the decks have been really good. But this one not so much. But let's just go over the actual product itself here. Little shiny, little Tanuki life wheel, double-sided. How far does this go up? Okay. And they got this little insert here. I can only assume that this is a checklist to try and achieve all 50 ways to win. Of course, you got this nice poster artwork here. Oh, no checklist. I thought there would be a checklist in here. It'd be like an achievement board for getting like all 20 ways to win, but no, missed opportunity. Oh no, there it is. It's on the back. 20 ways to win, master them all. Yeah, so like as the name suggests, like this product, this commander deck has 20 ways to win the game, other than the typical like damage them out, or commander damage, or milling, or poison counters, or stuff like that. Surprisingly, no poison counters in this deck. But yeah, let's go ahead and open this up. Now, the reason why I say that this deck isn't great, and if you are aware of this commander deck, you'll know that this deck isn't that great. Because basically it's all over the place. Like, having 20 ways to win, where's the flap? Having 20 ways to win in a single deck is inconsistent, to say the least. And typically whenever you build a deck, you want to try at least have some semblance of a strategy or anything. But this one is just like, try to win. Just try to win, fucker. And I just think that's pretty funny. Like past that, like try to win the game is very funny. But let's just go over the contents of this deck here. With the face commander. The commander here is Goshen Tai of Life's Origin. And I think that this is a very strange commander to go with for this deck, because Goshen Tai wants to play a lot of shrines, like a typical Goshen Tai wants to like play all the shrines, but there are no shrines in this deck. So like what happens is that you pay 4 mana to get your commander out, it makes 1 shrine token, and then like you're done. Like that's it, that's all it does. And I think that's why they re-templated Goshen Tai, because the actual ability to pay 5 mana and return an enchantment back is more important in this deck than the actual making of the shrines. I don't know, I just think that's really weird. Like, there has to be another 5-color commander. Yeah, this is the extra thick magic card here, but this is the real one. I just want, like, there has to be another commander that would fit the bill here, but they decided to go with Goshen Tai. I do like the artwork. The one thing that I did buy this product, the first reason why I bought this product was for the giggles, and the second one was for the artwork, because I really do like the Tanuki artwork here. So yeah, this will probably become a future commander deck for me, not excluding basically the entirety of the deck, because I'd rather build it with shrines. But Goshen Tai of Life's Origin, that's the first one. The second one, Approach of the Second Sun. Approach of the Second Sun. So, excuse me. If this spell is cast from your hand and you cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun this game, you win the game. Otherwise, you put the spell into its owner's library, start from the top, and you gain 7 life. This deck goes into any like combo deck. I know I used to play this in my Narset deck. I think I still play it in a few of my commander decks here, which is part of the reason why I bought it. The artwork here is pretty good. I love the foiling on this. Yeah, just a really good solid card that can just win you the game. Another one, Happily Ever After. This one, I'd be very surprised. I've never seen people win a game with Happily Ever After, although you could do it. I like the art, the Tanuki eating cake. That is just funny. I like that. Triskaidekaphile, definitely going into another one of my decks. Like this whole deck is getting get picked apart. I am not going to play this deck right out of the box because this deck is just all over the place. Like we just saw 3 different win conditions here with Approach of the Second Sun and Happily Ever After, and now we have Triskaidekaphile, which do totally different things. And like I just don't get it. Like there's no coherent strategy other than just trying. And that's just really funny. Anyway, Triskaidekaphile, 13 cards in hand, you win the game. Pretty simple. I play this in a bunch of like my mono blue draw decks, so that's definitely going to get replaced there. Revel in Riches. I used to play Revel in Riches a lot, but as soon as you play out the Revel in Riches and just like any board wipe, you're gonna get hated out of the game pretty quickly. So if you don't have a way to protect yourself, this card just like is just removal on it. Like they have to remove it or the game's over. But I really do like this card. This one, Helix Pinnacle. I do play Helix Pinnacle. I have a Crufix, God of Horizons deck, and that makes a shit ton of mana. So Helix Pinnacle was very nice. But again, all of these cards, all these win the game cards have like nothing in common. So like, what are they doing? I just don't get it. Simic Ascendancy. I love Simic Ascendancy. This card is great. Look at this artwork of the Tanuki carrying the barrels. Like I love this card, but it's just like what? Like sure, I guess having Simic Ascendancy and Helix Pinnacle in the same deck makes sense, but Simic Ascendancy and Revel in Riches, Triskaidekaphile, maybe. Happily Ever After, no. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I do love the Sol Ring art. This art of Sol Ring is probably one of my favorites because it reminds me of Animal Crossing with Tom Nook and the Nooklings, Timmy and Tommy. It's just, I don't know. I like it. Definitely going in the deck. Maze's End. I do like Maze's End. Maze's End was from Dragon's Maze, which is from the first Magic set that I really like dove into, like whenever I first started playing the game. So yeah, I like Maze's End getting reprinted here. I like the artwork here, the foiling. It's a nice inclusion, but again, how many gates are in here? And like, if this deck is playing gates, it's already bad. So I just don't get it. So those are all the alternate art cards. The rest are just going to be reprints or other inclusions. So here we have the Monologue Tax. I used to play Monologue's Tax a lot, not anymore. Pariah. All damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead. That can help save your butt. Test of Endurance, another way to try to win the game if you have 50 or more life. It doesn't synergize with any of the deck either. Mechanized Production, another win condition. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of Enchanted Artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. Now this is an actual tricky card. This deck doesn't play a lot of artifacts, but that's besides the point. The more important part is that the effect that makes you win the game only checks if you have 8 or more cards with the same name. It doesn't have to be the artifact that you are enchanting. So you can like enchant, I don't know, an Arcane Signet or a Sol Ring, but if you just if you just happen to have like 10 treasure tokens, you'll win the game with Mechanized Production. I think it's very interesting, but again, this is not an artifact deck. Even the commander Go Shintai, like it's enchantments. So even though this is an enchantment, it cares about artifacts. I just don't get it. This deck is all over the place. Mystic Remora, I love this card. It's getting its reprint. I love that. Ghoulish Impetus, Goaded, Death Touch, +1/+1. When it dies, return Ghoulish Impetus to the battlefield. Why do we want Why do we want our opponents to attack? I don't... Liliana's contract. Prime example here. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. There are no demon cards in this commander deck. The only way you make demon cards are with... I think there's a Taurian Mauler in there that has Changeling, so it's all creature types anyway. There is the one Crib Swap that makes a Shapeshifter token, which is all creature types. And there's a Maskwood Nexus in here, which makes all of your creatures all creature types and makes a 2/2. So, like, I guess you can get there with Liliana's contract, but you have to have these 2 specific cards in order to do so out of, like, the whole 100. And, like, it doesn't... There's no other demons in this deck, so you have to get the Maskwood Nexus. I don't know. Mayel Zarya. This one's fine. I know I did a commander deck list on Mayel, how many years ago? Like 7 years ago? I don't even remember. That was back in, whenever I first started this channel back in college, and the audio quality is terrible. You can watch it if you want. But Mayel Zarya, at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a counter on a thing. If you control a creature with power 5 or greater, then you gain 10 life. If you control a creature with power 10 or greater, then you win the game if you control a creature with power 20 or greater. So this is a feasible win condition, but like there's so much other bullshit in this deck that like doesn't synergize with it. Like, what does Mayel Zarya have to do with Liliana's contract? It doesn't. You just have to try. Oriok Champion, I played this card back in Modern. I think this is a Modern sideboard piece. It's just a way to gain life, so you can win with your I win the game cards. Austere Command, a decent board wipe. I think I've replaced this card with like a bunch of farewells at this point. Clever Concealment, this is a pretty neat card. Just phases out a bunch of your stuff for protection. The Eternal Wanderer, this one's pretty neat because it blinks some stuff, so you can get more ETBs. Halo Fountain, one of the other win conditions here. Basically, make a 1/1, draw a card, or you could untap 15 tapped creatures you control to win the game. How are you making those 15 tapped creatures? I don't know. You just have to. Heliod's Uncrowned. I mean, this card can just win games on its own. Like, I don't need to explain to you why Heliod combo is good. I don't think there's a Walking Ballista in here, but I could be wrong. Heliod's Intervention, this is a good artifact or enchantment removal, which can also just gain you a ton of life if you know you can just win the game with one of your win the game cards. Mangara's neat. Yep, Mangara's neat. That's all I got. Mangara's just neat. Shalai is here to give you and creatures hexproof to try and protect your win conditions. And then just like original win condition, just pump up your team and just swing face. Sunscorch Regent, more life gain, more +1/+1 counters. We've seen it all before. Sun Titan, great. Love Sun Titan. Still relevant. Tragic Arrogance, a great board wipe. I remember playing this back in Origin Standard, and it always gets people in Commander no matter what. Drown in Dreams, this is the only way that you can win by milling out your opponents. Because it's a target player mills twice X cards, target player draws X cards, so you can kill 2 of your opponents if you make enough X, but how are you making enough mana for X to be that high? I don't know. This deck doesn't seem great. There's the Rite of Replication, so you could try to make more shapeshifters for your Liliana's contract. I don't get it. 20 Toad, your maximum hand size is 20. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on 20 Toad and draw a card. Whenever 20 Toad attacks, you win the game if there are 20 or more counters on it and you have 20 or more cards in hand. This is a recent addition because this was in the Bloomburrow Commander decks, I believe. I haven't gotten a win off of this card as of yet, but it seems pretty decent. Like, if you know that you can draw a bunch of cards, get a bunch of counters on it, like, that seems great. But, like, all of this deck, like, it's doing too much. I don't know. Yeheni's great. Is this the only black card in the deck? I noticed that we went white, blue, and then black. Alright, sure. I mean, you put +1/+1 counters on stuff, so maybe you can get there with the Mayel Zarya. Hellkite Tyrant, another win condition. If you control 20 or more artifacts, you just win the game. So I guess that goes hand in hand with the mechanized production, but again, like, what other artifacts are you doing? And it's also reliant on, like, your opponents playing artifacts, so I don't get it. There's a Taurean Mauler, +1/+1 counter for, let's see, +1/+1 counter whenever an opponent casts a spell, yeah. And then we have a bunch of green stuff. We got the Augur of Autumn, which lets you play stuff off the top of your library. Dryad of the Ocean Grove, because you're 5 colors. You're gonna wanna make sure that you have enough lands, well, enough of your colors to actually play your spells. Forgotten Agent to get more +1/+1 counters. Sanctum Weaver to get more mana, because a bunch of your stuff is enchantments. Seedborn Muse is a very good creature here, because it just untaps everything, so you can get more bang for your buck. The Tireless Tracker here, I don't get. It is a landfall that makes a clue, and then whenever you sacrifice a clue, you get a +1/+1 counter. I mean, I guess it makes an artifact for the mechanized production. It puts a +1/+1 counter on it for the Mael's Zarya and a bunch of other stuff just to power up and kill your creatures. But there's no like land synergies in here, so I don't know why it's in here. I mean, it's a good card by itself, but like I just don't get it. Eerie Ultimatum, return any number of target permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's great. It'll bring back all your board wipes. It's just, Feyburrow Elder, just another mana dork that makes you more mana. Kunos and Tiro of Melodus, the Gaze! I love the Gaze. But like, why are they here? This isn't Group Hug. This deck doesn't want to be Group Hug. Like, the deck wants to try to make itself better. Like, I just don't get it. Sphinx's Revelation, I do love Sphinx's Revelation. This card is my favorite card, probably. Because this, I played Ravnica Standard and I played like the white-blue decks, and all of them played a playset of Sphinx's Revelation because it was just too good. Being able to gain X life and draw X cards is great. Why is it here? There are better draw spells than Sphinx's Revelation. Even though I love this spell, there are better spells in this. Supreme Verdict is fine. Just an uncounterable board wipe. I understand Supreme Verdict. Chromatic Lantern, that makes sense. It's 5 color. There's the Hangerback Walker, not quite Walking Ballista for Heliod, but pretty close, pretty close. It's Progenitor, I believe, because I think Origins came out before Kaladesh. There's the Maxwood Nexus. Creatures you control are every creature type, just so you can make your demons for 1 card in its entire deck to try to win the game. I don't get it, and I think we're gonna get onto the lands. So here's a gate, Baldur's Gate. We got Bountiful Promenade. That's actually a decent reprint. I like these opponent lands, the Battle Bond lands. They actually do some good. Brushland, of course, you got the Pain lands. Exotic Orchard, great. Homeward Path with the new art. I do like the new art of Homeward Path. I think I play Homeward Path in a couple of decks, not too many. Overgrown Farmland. We got a lot of Selesnya lands, I see. Plaza of Harmony. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more gates, you gain 3 life. 1 colorless, or tap it for a mana any gate you control could produce. I assume there are a bunch of gates. Razorverge Thicket, Reflecting Pool, Wooded Bastion. There's a lot of Selesnya lands in here. The World Tree, that's pretty decent. There are no gods in the deck except for your changeling, except for your changelings. Let me double check. Does Maxwood Nexus make creatures you control or every creature type? The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Okay, so if you get the Maxwood Nexus and you pop the World Tree, then you'll get every creature from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Because Maxwood Nexus would make them all gods in addition to their other types. So I see the World Tree being in here mainly because it makes all of your lands tap for any color mana once you get enough of them. But the last ability could be relevant as well. I highly doubt it, but it can. Darksteel Mutation here, great. I love Darksteel Mutation. It just like blanks a commander. Ghostly Prison, set up all your defenses because you're gonna do nothing for a while. Shiny Impetus, sure, make treasures, make more mana, that's fine. Fertile Ground, making more mana. Lignify. These nuts! Lignify's fine. I like Lignify. It's just another like Darksteel Mutation that blanks a commander. Like it just becomes a tree folk. An 0/4. Loses all abilities. Great. Trace of Abundance. Land has Shroud. Whenever Enchanted Land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 of that color, so it's another mana producer. Seed of Life's Bounty, that's color protection. There's the Crib Swap. Exile target creature's controller creates a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter token with Changeling. Soul's Attendant, gain more life. Morbid Opportunist. Whenever one or more creatures die, draw a card, but only once. Only once. Circuitous Route, get more gates, I guess. Biovisionary, another win condition. If you control 4 or more creatures named Biovisionary, you win the game. The only way to make additional copies of Biovisionary is with the Right of Replication that we've seen already. So why is it here? Be optimistic, be optimistic, be optimistic. I do like this deck. It has quality reprints like Arcane Signet and Lightning Greaves, and it has also stuff like Azorius Guild Gate and Black Dragon Gate and Boros Guild Gate and Citadel Gate and Cliff Gate. There's just so much bullshit in here. It's not even cohesive. Command Tower. Darksteel Citadel, that's pretty decent. Dimir Guild Gate, Forbidden Orchard. That's an artwork that I haven't seen yet before. Oh, it's from the Kamigawa. Oh. Neat. Gateway Plaza, another gate, 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 another gate. Path of Ancestry, another gate. Wait, what do you even choose with Path of Ancestry? Oh no, it's just any color. It's a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander. So Goshen Tide doesn't have a creature type? Like, it's legendary enchantment creature Shrine. Shrine is an enchantment type, not a creature type. So you will never scry one off of your Path of Ancestry with Goshen Tai as your commander. Another gate, another gate, another gate, another gate.
Another one.
Thornglint Bridge. Why? Why is this the only artifact land in the deck? I don't get it. I don't get it. Plains, Forest, probably, and yeah, so that's the commander deck. Those are the 100 cards. We've finally gotten through all the 100 cards. That 100 cards of bullshit. But I think the most value here in this deck is probably with these tokens, because Shrine tokens are a dime, or I don't even know how rare that they are or how much they are, because they were only in the collector boosters of Neon Dynasty, I believe. I could be wrong on that. But the Shrine tokens are probably going to be the best part of this deck. Are they double-sided? I don't think they are. No, they're not. Okay. But these Shrine tokens are great. Why would you ever need more than one? Because they gave me 2 shrines. Whenever Goshen Tai can only ever make 1 shrine. Oh, why? Whatever. 2 foil Shrine tokens. I got the Spirit token for the Forbidden Orchard. These are these double-sided? Yeah, these are double-sided. So you got the Shapeshifters for the Maskwood Nexus. Got a Thopter tokens. I don't remember what makes Thopters. Copy tokens on the back. Treasure tokens. Some treasure tokens there. So some Citizens for the Fountain and the Shapeshifter for the Crib Swap. Got the Samurai tokens for the Eternal Wanderer. And looks like we got another Shapeshifter and a Clue. And more Spirit and the Clue. And we got the special card here. The Enduring Ideal. Excuse me. Search your library for an enchantment card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Epic. That's just not me saying epic. It literally has the ability epic. Gotta be very clear on that. Enduring Ideal. I feel like, while this is an interesting card to include, it's not in the 100. So whenever you get this deck together, this is 101st card, so you have to replace it out with something, probably a gate, or whatever. But this card is one of the better epic cards, but still not great. So I think that actually sums up the deck pretty well. Like, it's pretty good, but it's not great. Like, I feel like if they wanted to make this deck actually like really good and competitive, it would just be a like white and green +1/+1 counters and gain life deck strategy. But they filled it with so much extra bullshit that it can't work. I would be extremely surprised if it can work. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I love the novelty. Like, the reason why I purchased this deck is because of the novelty. I love the novelty of just like being like, oh, there's so many ways to win in this deck. Look at all the stupid ways that you can win a game of Magic. And of course, I like the artwork here, and I think the reprints in here are pretty good. I think the financial value in this deck is pretty amazing for what it is. But it's just like, I can't imagine anybody actually winning a game with this deck. I mean, of course, if you purchase this product and are playing the deck, send me pictures or like comment like how many of these things that you have done, if any. Yeah, so I think that's all I got for you today. So thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe and have a happy holiday. I'll see you next time. Bye! So I was just going back over the contents of the Commander deck, and I somehow completely skipped over this Felidar Sovereign. So observe the Felidar Sovereign, admire the Felidar Sovereign. Okay, thanks, bye.